for women's sports is expected to come up at the debate tonight. Angry trans activists are lashing out as they realize that America isn't on their side. Check out these lovely agitators out of Milwaukee, hurling F-bombs at Riley Gaines.
You Riley! You Riley! You Riley! You Riley! Yes, Riley! Yes, Riley! Yes, Riley!
Dana, it's ironic that the way the media portrays this gender debate is that on the one side you have these radical right-wing haters that don't want people to grow up with love, but it's actually people hurling F-bombs and acting insane.
Well, two things on that. So we talked about that plane that's going to be flying around Milwaukee tonight saying that Republicans are extremists. I mean, hello. And then also in the last block, we talked about how none of the feminists will stand up for women who are victim of crimes. They just, all of a sudden, the cat's got their tongue. Same with this issue that Riley Gaines is having to deal with, which is women being able to be competitive in sports. It's insane to me that they don't see this. But here's this poll out of New Jersey that said that parental rights matters. I don't understand why it was so shocking. It's about an 85-15 polling thing, meaning that 85% of people all agree that parents should have the right to be in charge of their kids' education and their gender identity. I don't know what's going to take for Democrats to learn about this. They've been saying that this is just conservative fear-mongering. Well, guess what? That's how you got Glenn Youngkin. That's how Ron DeSantis helped win by 20 points in his reelection. That's how you had all those school boards all across America switch from Democrats to Republicans, because this issue is definitely on the ballot. I look forward to seeing how Martha and Brett frame the question tonight and how these candidates will answer it. I don't think it's good enough to say, I would abolish the Department of Education. Okay, fine. But it's more than that. And there is a cultural shift that somebody needs to lead on, and one of these candidates tonight should be able to articulate that.
Judge Jeanine, do you think that the candidate should make that a big issue, the trans situation tonight?
I think they should make it a big issue. Absolutely. It's about parental control. It's about a move towards socialism. It's about an attempt to be a Marxist. And by the bottom line is that the numbers are so in favor of parents who want to be in control of what their children learn in school. Is that so unusual? And by the way, what we saw in terms of that video, you know, the F. Riley Gaines, and then they're holding a sign that says love over hate. You know, it's like this schizophrenic message, you know, we want equity, but if you don't give us our equity, we hate you or we're going to destroy you. Mm-hmm. And the amazing part of it is, you know, we're at a point after COVID when we are suffering in terms of education, when China and the CCP is pushing, you know, engineering and AI and new world technology. And we're over here in the United States fighting about whether or not there should be, you know, we should be teaching kids about gender identity in second grade. It's ridiculous.
Harold Ford Jr., President Biden has still never answered how he feels about men competing in women's sports. Eventually, he's going to have to answer that question. Do you have any idea what he's going to say?
I don't. I don't think that this is, well, first of all, I saw the sign where I think it said stop trans genocide. I think you can agree with that sign, but also take the position that they were wrong to yell out what they were yelling out. It's not the way
Harold, how could something, where's the genocide? Where's the genocide? That's the problem. You're falling for a line, Harold, that doesn't exist. If you can point to me the genocide. Go ahead. Sorry.
But Greg, I'm only saying I'm against it. I imagine you're for it.
I'm against all of genocide. I'm against all of genocide.
Guys, let me finish my point. I don't believe that they should be yelling what they're yelling. I happen to agree with you, Jesse. The president will have to answer this question. I am not comfortable. It is something that bothers me to know that my little girl, my daughter, could be competing in a sporting event with a young man who decided to identify as a woman a week before, 2 weeks before. This is something we're going to have to deal with as a society. The question will come up tonight in the debate. I hope they all answer it quickly and we get on to talking about other things. But I do agree, Jesse, when it comes to the general, the president will have to answer this question, and depending on how he answers it will determine how long we stay on this issue.
And Greg, the fact that they're holding a sign that says trans genocide, which is a lie, what does that tell you?
Well, here's the thing. They are trying to portray the people that stand in their way as extremists. Here are three extreme views. that you can remove healthy organs from children who are confused, and parents can't know what's going on because it violates the children's privacy. You can let strapping young men beat the crap out of women in sports, from swimming to powerlifting, and also in MMA fighting. A male rapist can stay in a prison for women as long as he identifies as a female. Those are extreme views. Those are the views those folks are for. I'm against those views. So if that makes me an extremist, I'm a proud extremist. I embrace my extremism because I'm against all that. You see Jen Psaki shifting gears now. It's like, why is the right so obsessed with identity politics? Sorry, lady, you created this monster. Your party was behind this monster. If people didn't use the right pronoun, they could lose their job. They would be reported to HR. If you didn't embrace the fabricated rules of the woke, you could be accused of putting trans lives in danger. You could be using to aiding and abetting trans genocide if you actually said, that's a man in a dress. The pronoun delusion is dead. No one is adding it to their resumes or their X handle. It came and went like the pet rock. Because the eternal truth is, to be interesting in life, you have to grow as a human being. You have to travel, you have to read, you have to listen. Picking a pronoun or putting on lipstick or pink socks is not a replacement for a personality. It's entirely the opposite. It's announcing to everybody, when you do this trans stuff, you're announcing to everybody that you're easily malleable. You're a sheep. You should be embarrassed.
Not everybody has such a vivacious personality as Greg Gutfeld.
Oh, well, thank you, Jesse.
You really all personality. Up next, our predictions for tonight's debate.